Why are you here today?
I'm here because I'm so excited my team has made the states. We haven't made it for the last 2 years, so we've made a return to glory, and we won first place in the county championship in our division, so we made it this year and we're really excited about it.
So how does it feel to be able to get here?
It feels great. The whole season I told my students, I said, we're going to get back there this year. We'll be there this year. And kind of faltered a little in the middle. It's obviously been so rainy this year. We've had to play inside a lot, which makes it different. So we were a little worried, but now that the sun is somewhat out today and we're back here, it's awesome.
How long have you been coaching bocce or unified sports?
So I've been coaching 6 years. So the first year that I started, we only started with bocce in the spring of that year, and then in the fall we started with tennis. So I've done 5 seasons of tennis, 5 of bowling, and then 6 of bocce.
How has interscholastic sports had an impact in your school?
In our school, it's been interesting. It's kind of hard at the beginning to get everybody involved, and of course it's a new thing, so anything new is going to be different. But it has grown, some of the sports more than others. Tennis is kind of a hard one to get people involved in. A lot of people were solidly involved in fall sports, and they say tennis is too hard. But bocce has been really great. Bowling, which we do as allied, not as unified, so it's not quite the same, but that's also had a lot of students who are interested. So I get a lot of students coming in to see me that I wouldn't have known before since I don't teach them. So it's just growing the amount of kids that I know and that know my students in my class.
Has your program seen a big growth since it has started?
We have, and it's been really cool because, like I said, we started 6 years ago with bocce, and now we're starting to get students who have had siblings who have done it and who have graduated, and then they've encouraged their siblings to come back. So this year I've had 2 or 3 different students who I had siblings who already have participated, so I'm kind of on the next group or the next generation, and that's really neat to see that they've encouraged their siblings to come back and want to participate in it too.
Well, that's cool. So it gives them a chance to pass it on.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. What are the benefits of interscholastic sports for your students you work with?
Number one thing I think is just socialization. Getting to interact with students that they don't have classes with or might not know, or we pull from a bunch of different middle schools, so we get students from all over, so they get to meet different people they wouldn't have known or go to school with. So that's socialization, having something to do, a leisure skill or activity after school to actually have something involved in instead of just going home and not having anything to do. I think that's been the biggest thing. They can say, I actually do something at my high school. Instead of just getting on the bus and going home every day, they can participate, they get to wear the gear, they get to, hopefully have the medals, and even if not, just to say, I was on a team, I was part of the school, we did events, people know who we are, we've been on the announcements, and I think that's the impact not just for my students, but for the partners too, that they get recognized too as just being part of the whole school community.
So it helps not only your special needs students, it helps share the strengths of your students without disabilities.
Absolutely, because a lot of my students without disabilities who have come to be partners haven't been involved in anything else in the school, and once they've joined Unified Sports, they've started to come out of their shell also, and they've started to socialize more and communicate and form friendships. So it definitely helps on both sides, partner and athlete.
Cool. How has the culture of the school changed since Interscholastic Unified Sports had started?
It's changed a lot, and I wasn't really sure if it would change or not. And when we first started, the first year we won our championship, we came to the States and we won in our division. And I said, we won a state championship. Can we have a banner in the gym just like everybody else? And they said, well, it's not really a real sport like everybody else. You don't compete against the whole state, so it's not a state championship. And I said, it is a state championship. It's not fair that we can't say that. But now that we've won a couple county tennis championships and we've come back to the States again, we do get recognized, and they acknowledge that we are a sport. We've been there for 5 or 6 years, that we have the legacy in who's participating. So I think they do recognize it as that, and I feel like we get equal footing. We do get some spectators at some of our sports, which is great, and it just helps within the school, like I said, to get people to know who the partners and the athletes are, and to not just say, oh, that's a unified sport, that's no big deal. When we get varsity letters and we really get that recognition, we go to the sports banquet, we see we are part of the whole school community.
Have you seen the friendship and respect traveled outside of the school any?
I have a couple students who have graduated and who have kept in contact with some of their partners. It helps with social media now with Facebook and email. It makes it a lot easier than before. So I have seen that. I wish there was more. I wish that it kept going more than it does. I think as we keep going with it, it will. Like I said, at the very beginning, people were so new to it and not sure what to do. But as we grow, that it definitely grows.
Have you seen more interaction between students with intellectual disabilities and without in the school system as well?
I have. Like I said, I wish it would continue to grow. I think it has a long way to go, but I think this has helped. It gives a common talking point, common interests, activity that they're doing after school, where instead of just saying hi in the hallway, they say, oh, are you going to be at practice? Are you going to be at the game today? Or, who's bringing the snacks today? So it adds more things to talk about. So it does build that commonality, but I think it has a long way to go.
So what is the best part of coaching for yourself?
Oh, this is a tough question. I guess I just like to see how much the students enjoy it and how much joy they get out of being able to come out and have something to do. That's the exciting part of it. Yeah, just seeing how much they like it.
Yeah. They the friendship you see evolve out of this. Do you think it'll continue to travel well outside of the school boundaries?
I hope so. Like I said, it's hard. I do think that having things like Facebook or texting has helped that. But I think it does have a long way to go. And I think there's certain people who are really invested in it and there's certain who aren't. But either way, as long as they get their foot in the door and understanding more about people with disabilities and how to interact with them and how to involve, at least that's a step in the right direction.
How has Interscholastic Unified Sports impacted you as a teacher or coach?
It's really made my role in the school bigger than it was before. Being part of the athletics department and getting to go and talk to students and try and engage them about joining unified sports. So I've gotten to know a lot more students that way. I also have a peer helper program in my classroom, so I've been able to have students who are peer helpers come in and help in my classroom, not just do sports outside of school. So it's just helped me to know more people, more teachers, and I get people to buy our gear and they sport that around, so then people will ask questions about that and how can I buy it and when are your games and where can we come. So it helps me get to know more people in the school community also.
Has any particular moment or story popped out?
I have a few. I was just saying before we started talking, I have a student who was wanting to come today to the States and had an AP test and was very upset that she couldn't come because she was going to have to take her test. And when she found out that she could pay an extra fee and reschedule her test, she immediately did that because she really wanted to be here today. She's a senior, so it was her last opportunity, and she was really excited for that. I also had another student who went to prom last year with a partner from one of our unified sports teams, and he volunteered. He was a freshman, she was a senior, so it wasn't his prom, but he was really excited to take her and be involved in that for her aspect of her senior year.
How many students do you have with you today?
So I have 6 that are actually playing on my team, but I brought about 6 extra students who were not on my roster but who really wanted to come participate. They played throughout the season, so they wanted to come and volunteer as scorekeepers today. So that was cool for me also that they were so involved that they wanted to make sure that they were able to do their part even if they couldn't play on the team today.
Do you think this will leave a lasting impression on them?
Absolutely. They had so many questions about what it was and what they got to do and who they got to see. They're so inquisitive, and I think that's the number one thing that has changed with unified sports. It started to bring about more questions and just more awareness of what they can do or how they can help or how they can communicate. So I think this will be a very long-lasting impression for them.
All right. Well, thank you for taking the time to be with us.
You're welcome.
Hope you guys do awesome today.
Oh, thank you very much.